Hey Hoopers, it's Deanne Love here and welcome back because we are going to be doing a linear isolation turn flow session. Now it's kind of a special flow session this week because I'm going to take some of the moves that I have been sharing with you in the last couple of weeks and we're going to flow them together. Now I will leave links below for all of these moves, so if you haven't checked them out then you can go back and have a look at those tutorials first and get really familiar with the moves. And then we're going to link them together in a flow session right now because I really want to dive into the special moments where we transition from one move to the next. And that's really what's going to unlock your flow. And that's what it's all about, grooving and dancing. So let's first of all break down the moves that you will need to become familiar with before you start this flow session. The first one is the linear isolation turn. Link below. I'm going to show you how to do that in a past tutorial. If you haven't already checked it out, now's a good time. Then we go into a hinge transition. I also have, last week I think it was, we did some hinge transition tutorials and some in the past. Then we go into these smears or these orbits and I'll show you how to transition into that. Then we move into the prayer hand mandala. Tutorial link below. Then we're going the swing start mandala, one of my favorites. Another hinge to transition, and then a reverse escalator. And there's a few variations on that. I have a whole workshop on escalators or links below. Okay, so as I said, we really want to dive into the little transitions, and sometimes they're overlooked and it can get a bit confusing. Like, how do I take this move that I love and this move that I love and this move that I do all the time, and how do I blend them all together so that I'm kind of flowing through and not getting stuck? And sometimes that just comes out naturally and you don't even have to think it through, but let's break it down in this tutorial so you can kind of work with this formula for other variations of flow sessions that you might like to do. All right, so we are going for the linear isolation thumb wraps around the front. Remember, if I'm rushing through any of the move techniques, then you can go back to the tutorials because I really break them down there. And then we're going to slide to the opposite side. Thumb wraps around the front becomes the hook. And it's when we get here that we've almost completed, pretty much completed a full turn with the linear isolation. So now you're out here and you could do a million different moves, but a transition that is really powerful and can be sharp and bring focus to you, can feel really good to like snap you into the next move and bring a hoop to the front plane where you can do a lot of stuff, is a hinge. So bending at the elbow and hinge the hoop in. Now you are in this vertical front plane. There are so many things that you can do. And if your hands are on the outside, you can fold and flip, but if you hook your thumbs into the center of the hoop and you kind of press away so you can release your fingers right here. Here is a power transition. So it's like you're pivoting or rotating. Hands are on the outside, thumbs hook in, and then you're going to bring your fingers up to the sky and your thumbs are still pressing away a little. If you point your fingers inside the hoop, you can take your thumbs out. Now you have transitioned to an inside grip. Ta-da! So outside, thumbs inside, fingers push inside, thumbs go on the outside. Then you can wrap around and you are ready to do isolation barrel rolls, smears, anything right here. So in this flow session, I dropped my left hand to my left hip and I worked with an orbit or a smear right here. So many positions that you could go into from here. But we're going to work with this one. So round and round, either standing still or turning in a circle. Now, when you get back to this position here, your hands are on the inside and you want to be aware of that. What you can do is slightly isolate the hoop down and pick one hand, your dominant hand that you want to spin with. I'm going for my right, so I'm going to take my left hand away, drop the hoop into a spin. My elbow comes in close to my torso. I'm creating this L shape. My thumb is up. And now I can go into this prayer hand or this two-hand position. So check that out. The transition was from two hands on the inside. I chose my right hand to be the player. I took my hoop up into this front vertical plane, and then with momentum, with the weight of the hoop, I can let go and go into a spin. Now, after a while of play, that becomes an automatic one sweeping transition. So I would have gone from here straight in. But you can take your time. You can really work into that right here, isolate down, let go. So you can put pauses, you can create length, you can play with the pace in all of these transitions. All right, so now it's a bit of fun, heart-opening fun. We are going for a prayer hand mandala. Link below. You got it. If you have been following along with me, then this might also be one of your favorites. I love the feeling of this move. So essentially what the prayer hand mandala is, 2 hands, big circle, full 360 turn. So now you're here and you're like, 2 hands, whoa. The hoop is in your front plane, so we're going to transition into a behind the back swing start mandala. So I'm not going to be moving my feet for this one unless I'm doing some kind of fancy dance. I'm going to keep my toes facing towards you. I'm going to take one hand out. Now my hoop is still spinning to the right on my right hand. You may be mirroring this. I'm going to squeeze the hoop, take it out nice and long. My thumb is up. I'm going to keep my thumb up. And as I swing it out, so it just goes behind my back, just like this. As I swing it out, my thumb is going to go through the hoop, going to give the hoop a spin towards me and push my fingers in. I know that can be tricky. Then the hoop is spinning towards my body. I can take that spin up, choose my handwork for my mandala, and move into a back plane spinning mandala. Now I really just want to take a moment right there to show you the transition from 2 hands, 1 hand. The hoop is spinning out to the right on my right hand, so I'm going to squeeze and take the hoop from my front plane to my back plane. Swing behind here in preparation and to create shape and create some kind of interest and a moment of pause, a dramatic transition. My thumb is hooked in, it's tucked in. I'm going to spin thumb, 4 fingers. You might need to do that a few times. Spin towards your body. It's in the back plane. Thumb, push your fingers towards the back wall. Up to the sky. Down to a behind the back pass. You do not need to get that the first time. It's quite complex. These transitions can take time to work out. That's why we're playing with them. It's all cool. Okay, so 2 hands, squeeze, swing, thumb 4 finger transition. Play with it as many times as you need. Take it to the park. Go on, go outside, get some sunshine, some fresh air. The next time the hoop comes into your preferred hand, it's my left, going to my right. I'm going to take the hoop up and squeeze it again. Now, a lot of times when you're in motion, you just really need to take the hoop from spinning to stalling it or stopping it. And because you're moving from one point to the other, you just want to be hyper aware of where your hoop is. So if your hand was down low and you just kind of squeeze it, then gravity is going to pull it down. So you're going to be squeezing and raising your hand high so that you can move into the next move, which is a reverse escalator. Now, I did a hinge right here just to create the circle, like this kind of halo above my head or up high. I always imagine with a lot of my flow sessions that I'm actually painting pictures, creating shapes. So I've gone from all these swirls behind my back. I've come up and around. I'm nice and high right here. The left hand for this transition is just there as a kind of guide, so I don't smack myself in the head, really. And then I'm going to hinge my hoop back. Now I have some options here. I can do a reverse escalator from my neck out and catch down. And I have some tutorials on that. Or I can drop it down a little bit lower onto my hip, use my opposite leg to push the hoop across, out and down. I still end in the same ending position. All right, so let's run it through again, starting to bring some flow and just bring some relaxation into the body, playing around. If you get to a point, like I always say, where you have this kind of creative burst and you're like, ooh, I would actually do this move there, or I think I would normally transition into this. You always have choices. You can either push yourself and come along with me to challenge yourself to learn a new pathway, or you can go into your own style. So let's go for it. We are going for a linear isolation turn. Hook the thumb, turn. One more time, drag and pull back. Remember, line and circle. Go and check my other tutorial if you don't know what I'm talking about. Hinge in, create a frame in front of the body. Thumbs go in. You can stand and face one direction, or you can turn around, starting to bring some fluidity into your dance. The next time you come to your front focal point, you're going to choose a hand to move into the spin. Press the palms together, keeping the form of the body, opening up for a two-hand mandala as many times as you like. You can also go up with one and down with two if that felt good. In my tutorial, you will find my two-hand or my prayer hand tutorial. You will find some other options there. Taking one hand out, the direction that the hoop is spinning, squeezing, swinging behind swing start mandala, thumb, forefinger transition, spinning towards the body, up to the sky. Watch your lights. If you're inside, do this as many times as you need. The next time the hoop comes into your dominant hand, the hoop is spinning towards your body, squeeze, hinge, neck or hip, reverse, escalator. Whoa, there is like literally so many other elements to that I would love to share with you. Every single time that I go into these flow sessions, just more and more creativity comes up. There's more ideas for transitions. There's more ideas to bring in dance. I can just feel it in my whole system. And I know that these tutorials are quite short. So I really want to share that in the coming months, and I will let you know all of the details. I am going to be holding hoop class, like a whole hoop class over on hooplovers.tv, so that we can dive deeper into all the juiciness to really fully unlock the yumminess of these types of transitions, of these moves, and for any level, so that together our hoop creativity and strength can totally explode. So I'm super excited about that, but I will give you all the details really, really soon. But for now, just grab your hoop. I hope that you have enjoyed some of the transitions and unlocking some new ideas and some movement in your hoop. If you have, I know you have. If you haven't just sat there watching me, like you've actually tried some of these transitions for yourself. If you have, then please tag me. I love it. Like honestly, every day I wake up and I get to see like hoopers from around the planet rocking their hoop. It's just like a dream. So Instagram is where I normally find you, at DeanneLoveXO. Or you can totally subscribe to this channel. I would love that. It helps me out so much. Big hoop love from me to you. Mwah.